What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video, and as you guys can tell, I am here outside once again enjoying the beautiful weather this summer. So here we go, people. I got a question for you guys. Obviously, hopefully you can tell by the title of the video. I want to talk about which position group for the Bears is the strongest and which one is the weakest going into this 2022 NFL season. And what do I mean by that? Okay, I basically am saying which position group, right? You can take any position group on offense or defense, is the strongest that the Bears have with the most depth, most maybe star power, whatever the case is. And then which is their weakest position by far, right? Where they have the least amount of good players that you can think of. So let me give you guys my answers, and then I want to hear your answer in the comments down below. All right, so we'll start with the strongest position group, okay? And this one was a little tough to think about here. And I thought about, obviously, every single position group for the Bears. And you know what? I don't think this is the strongest, but surprisingly, it went from being one of the weakest to one of the strongest, and that's the secondary. Folks, if you think about it, before this summer, the secondary was Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson, and a bunch of bodies. And again, I know I'm saying secondary, so I'm really splitting up the cornerback and safety group, if you will, but work with me here, okay? But then this summer in the draft, we added Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker, who are two rookies that are probably going to start day one. And if they end up being good and productive, then you're talking about a secondary group that like has shot up in terms of, you know, productivity and being good. So the secondary, a group to look at, but it's still not my strongest for the Bears. I'm actually going to go with the running back group. Okay, the running back room for the Bears. And here's why. You got David Montgomery as a starter at the bell cow. And Monty's a guy who's a Pro Bowl type talent. Like if Monty makes the Pro Bowl this year, you won't be shocked. Okay, he's a guy who can give you 1,000 rushing yards. He's a guy who can catch out of the backfield. And he's a guy who I would probably say is a top 15 running back in the NFL. Okay, maybe even higher. Behind him, you got Khalil Herbert, rookie going into his second year now. And Khalil Herbert was ultra productive in his rookie season. So much so that if you let Monty walk after this season and Khalil Herbert steps in as a starter, you would feel pretty confident about him. So Khalil Herbert has shown the, you know, quote unquote, pun intended, juice, if you will. That's his nickname, Juice Herbert. And so he's been special. And so you've got a great backup running back. So if Monty, you know, God forbid, goes down this season, I feel very confident in Herbert taking his place because I've seen him do it and be very productive, okay? And then behind him, I know he's really not a running back, but, you know, we've got a fullback in Kari Blasingame, who to me is one of the better fullbacks in the NFL, ultra productive, can catch out of the backfield as well, and obviously can block pretty well. So to me, you add that into the running back room, like that to me, pretty special. And we drafted a running back this year as well. We'll see if he makes the roster or not. But the thing is, folks, like in terms of the star power at the top with Monty and then the depth behind him, you know, I feel like the running back room is the room that I feel the safest about. I feel the most confident about. And we're going to run the football this year. I truly believe that. And I'm not worried about the productivity for the running back room. So to me, that is the strongest position group for the Bears this season, heading into this season. All right, let's talk about the weakest, okay? And this one was very difficult too. I thought about the offensive line. You know, obviously our offensive line still not that great, but I feel like it's got potential. I feel like it's got potential because we've got a guy like Tevin Jenkins who could end up being very good. Larry Borum, same thing. You got Cody Whitehair. You got Lucas Patrick coming in, who's going to be obviously very solid for the Bears at the center spot. So it's a position group which is not very much proven, but it's got potential. Okay, so that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't think it's the weakest. It's not very good, but it's not the weakest. And then I think about the defense, and I'm like, you know what? Even at the linebacker spot, you got Roquan, who's an absolute stud. On the pass rush side, you got Robert Quinn still, who's elite. And so I'm not going to pick those groups either. And then I'm thinking, you know what? It's the square answer. It's the obvious answer, but I have to go with it. I think it's the wide receivers group, okay? Because you got Darnell Mooney, yes, but Darnell Mooney to me, still, has not proven to be a number one overall in terms of if you compare him with other number ones in the NFL. Hopefully he does that this season. But to me, even last year, he had A-Rob, who did draw some of the top cornerbacks his way. I know he didn't have a great season at all. But now Mooney's going to get that this season. So can he be that number one guy when he gets that number one cornerback matchup for the Bears this season and be ultra productive at it? So he still hasn't proven that. He's very good, and I think that Mooney's set up for a fantastic season, but he still hasn't proven that. Okay, behind him, you got Byron Pringle, who's going to be our wide receiver 2, and for a lot of teams, he would be their wide receiver 3. Let's just be honest about it. I liked the Pringle signing. I told you that. Very good back half of last season, but he'd be a wide receiver 3 for a lot of teams. And then behind him, folks, it's just a bunch of bodies. I'm sorry, but it's a bunch of unproven guys. Equinemius St. Brown is not proven. You got guys like David Moore, Tajay Sharp, Dante Pettis. I know we have Velus Jones Jr., a rookie receiver, and hopefully he's going to be good. But again, he's a rookie, right? Not proven yet. We'll see how he is when he steps on the field. Then you got guys like Daz Newsome, who, again, haven't gotten on the field a lot. So, to me, it's a bunch of bodies until we see them being productive. So, to me, the weakest position group for the Bears heading into this season, and I hope they prove me wrong, is the wide receiver group. So, there you have it, folks. My 2 position groups, the strongest and the weakest. So, again, strongest, I got the running back group. Weakest, I got the wide receiver group. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below which group you believe is the strongest and which one you believe is the weakest. As always, thanks for watching.